Hi Lindsay, this is Josh, as you know, but I'm letting your readers/viewers know as well. Lindsay, thank you very much for inviting me to submit my first Kiss story. I will try to keep it short and sweet as you requested, although I'm not sure exactly how short it should be because I haven't been reading your blog posts from this month. And the reason is that the topic is still very fresh and emotional for me, so I haven't been able to read them, which is a weird thing to say because it has been 20 years since my first kiss, and it might actually be exactly 20 years. I just realized on the streetcar today coming home that it's about exactly 20 years. But I think maybe maybe it's another week from now that is the 20th anniversary, because I remember it was just after Thanksgiving. But I'll try not to talk about the whole relationship. I'll try to talk about specifically the first kiss. But as a little background, I was in first year university in September. I was a frosh, and I became friends with Sarah Wilshaw. She spelled it S-A-R-A, no H, and she always said that this was the best way to spell it, the only way to spell it. So whenever I see a Sarah with an H now, I'm like, that's wrong. And we became really good friends. We did some amazing things. I remember we flew a kite in the ravine near Glendon College, where we were going to school. And I remember one night we slept on the roof of the residence, and I wasn't too bright. I'd never had a girlfriend or kissed a girl or anything. And I remember we were lying on the roof in our sleeping bags, and she was like, I'm cold, and she wanted me to hold her and keep her warm, but I didn't quite get that. I was like, oh, I'll get you another blanket? Like, what do you want exactly? So I was a little slow, but I felt that we were becoming closer, and when I was going away for Thanksgiving weekend, she was going to go away as well, and I remember she was in my res room once, and she said she was going, and I was like, well, I'll miss you, and she didn't really say anything to that, and kind of left, and then I felt awkward. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But the next morning, when I woke up, she'd already left to go back home, and there was a note under my door, and it just said, I'll miss you too, and it was addressed to, it was just a drawing of a spider, because she called me Spidey, and she signed it with a picture of a cat, because she was like Cat, because Spider-Man had a girlfriend named Black Cat. That's what I was into, Spider-Man at the time. So we had these little nicknames for each other, and I still have that note. It's in a big box in my storage locker. I have all the notes that she wrote me, and I haven't been able to look at them, because even seeing her handwriting is still very emotional to me. But anyways, the first kiss, it was after Thanksgiving. I know that because I remember going back home to Ottawa for Thanksgiving and telling people. They were like, oh, do you have a girlfriend or something? I'm like, oh, yeah, I got a girlfriend. And I gave her name because maybe I was hoping she would be my girlfriend, but I kind of made it up because I wanted to look cool. But then it turned out that she became mine after Thanksgiving. But anyways, I haven't thought about all this. Even before your interview, I couldn't think about it specifically because it is very emotional for me, so I haven't delved into it. That's why I can't get the exact details for you. I actually have it all written in a diary, but maybe I can dig that out at another time. If your viewers are interested and I could read it. But anyways, vaguely, the kiss, I remember we were lying in my residence room, and she was giving me something called butterfly kisses, where she would bat her eyelashes and I would feel against my cheek. I remember that, and just thinking how intense and amazing that was. And then I think at some point when we were doing that, our lips sort of came closer together, and I remember thinking, I don't know how to kiss. I was afraid of not doing it right, and all I could think of as advice was that scene in Rain Man where Tom Cruise teaches Dustin Hoffman to kiss, and he says it's like eating something or whatever. So I remember specifically that when our lips first touched, I tried to think like, okay, I'm eating something good or something, trying to move my lips like that, but I guess I did all right. She didn't complain, and I guess probably my natural instincts took over, and I think I did all right with the kiss. And I remember writing in my diary several pages that I kissed a girl. I kissed Sarah Wilshaw. I was very excited about that. And the interesting thing is that I don't think anything has matched that since. It's been weird. I've been trying to think about it, because I remember we dated for a couple months then, and then I broke up with her for no good reason. There was no reason at all, actually. I think it was just, I had a problem with pushing people away just to see if they would come back or something. And when, she went on to date someone else, I remember being devastated. I remember I was trying to still be close to her. I remember, I wanted to go on a ski trip that they were all going on. Partly because I wanted to make friends and stuff. But I remember her coming to my room and saying, "Listen, you aren't friends with these people. These are my friends. Why would you come?" And I remember how devastated I was. I actually look at photos of myself before and after that time, and I feel like I aged like 10 years, and I never really recovered that. And I was just devastated for the rest of the year. And I don't think I've ever really recovered from it. Because, the people say, like, your first kiss, it's magical, it's being young, it's being first times and stuff. And I guess, part of me thinks, oh yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why nothing ever measured up to that. But I think partly it's that it was her, and that maybe I lucked out finding someone amazing my first time out, and I didn't, at the time you don't know. At the time you think, oh, there's, millions of people in the world, whatever. You don't realize that you've kind of found the person that was right for you, that, when you see their handwriting and you're like, it means so much that, even 20 years later. So it's interesting. So I haven't really recovered. I kind of regret it. I remember years later, we went for a drink with me and another friend and her or something, and she had mentioned she was doing speed dating or something, and I was like, oh, wow. It was kind of good to hear that, because I was like, wow, even Sarah Wilshaw, this mythical creature, is doing speed dating. I guess it's okay for me to do speed dating and, crap like that. But it's only years later that I suddenly realized, wait a minute, she was available. I mean, I guess she was single, or maybe at the time she had said she had done it, and then she had a boyfriend at that point. I can't remember. Maybe I should have made a play for it. I don't know. But a little late now. She is on Facebook, and she just moved to India with her husband and 2 kids, which is great. Although I'm thinking, when I heard it, I was like, no, don't go. She's going to be gone for 2 years. But, I don't know what I was thinking exactly. That she's like, oh, wow, Josh, I've been feeling the same way. Let's, run away together. I don't know exactly what my plan is. This has sort of gone on a tangent. But I just want to say I find it interesting that you're doing these interviews, because to sort of deal with my feelings over this, I was thinking recently I want to do like a radio show where people call in and tell their stories of heartbreak, and that way we can share them and all feel less alone. And I was going to make the first episode specifically about first loves, and so you've kind of beat me to the punch on this, but hopefully it is working for people. If they're sad, that then sharing this and seeing other people's stories is making them feel less alone, making them feel like they're not the only ones. I also got a casting call from an LA casting agent this week, and it was saying, do you regret losing your true love, the one you're meant to be with, all of this? And so clearly other people feel situations like this. I tried to write down a couple of notes of what else I wanted to say. No, I guess, actually I didn't even write anything down. I just wrote down radio show, and I wrote down my friend. Yes, so the final tidbit is that I was talking to an old friend from high school recently, and very recently, like last month, and I was mentioning this exact situation. I'm like, oh, I'm hung up on Sarah Wilshaw, and he's like, Sarah Wilshaw. Turns out he's met her a few times over business situations, and he's like, you know her? You tapped that? She's gorgeous, man. Like, she still looks amazing. And I'm like, oh man, like, this wasn't helping. And I'm like, no, I did not tap that, because I didn't. But I said I kissed that, which is what I did. And I guess I'm happy to say that kissing that was, and okay, I shouldn't be saying that, it hurt. Kissing her was better than, tapping her, or tapping anyone else. I mean, all right, I think you know what I'm trying to say, as awkwardly as I'm saying it. So, maybe it's sad that you have something like that, and it's kind of like, wow, you can never measure up to it again, but maybe it's good to get to experience something like that once in your life. Just to say, yeah, maybe some people don't experience that. So this is not to denigrate any of my other relationships that came after that, of course. We're just specifically talking about first kisses, and mine was pretty amazing. I can still attest to that 20 years later. Okay, thanks for the interview, and